Really happy with the victory today, and told the team, when we've talked about November football, and to me it was a classic example of November football in our conference. Tough conditions weather-wise, and a couple of things we really thought coming into the game we'd have to play tough because Wisconsin's a really tough outfit, and then playing clean football is huge for us and huge for them, and it's been that way historically in this series. And it's been that way for both teams really this year. If you look back during the stats, for both teams. So, and then the other thing is, you got to make plays when they do present themselves, and our guys did a good job of that. It wasn't easy, wasn't clean, but overall did a really nice job. So, just really proud of our players for getting the victory. Proud of them getting the trophy back and having that in our building for a while. Defense obviously played really well. Good job stopping the run, and outside of a bust we had in the coverage, pretty good job in pass defense as well. So that was good to see. Had some ups and downs, but more ups in special teams. Obviously, the block punt was a big play in the game, and then I think really the sequence where we were able to kill the ball down on the 1 yard line, their 1 yard line, give them the long field, and then Cooper followed it up with the punt return. And then we were able to finish that drive off. It was just, I think, a really big swing in the game. And offensively, we've got a lot of work to do still. It's kind of disappointing up front. It didn't look real good for the most part, but a couple positives there when we did get the ball down inside. We finished, put the ball in the end zone instead of field goals, and that was, I think, a positive certainly. And then, the end of the game to hold the ball and make them burn their timeouts. Not sure I saw that coming, so that was encouraging too. And they're a good group. They just need more experience and more work, and we'll get back to work on Monday with them. But they're a good group, and these guys don't give up, so we'll be okay there. And just encourage the team to enjoy this one. They earned it. It was hard fought, and they earned it. So really, again, just proud of their effort, proud of the staff, the plan they put together, and we'll enjoy this one and turn the page tomorrow. I'll throw it out for questions.
We talked to Cooper. He says he can't drop kick a field goal. Are you amazed at how he can affect the game in so many different areas?
Yeah, I just got done saying on the radio coming in, for whatever reason, I'm thinking about stuff I probably shouldn't think about, but there's probably not a position on the perimeter he couldn't play. And, you'd have to change your offense if he's your quarterback, but, I'm pretty sure he could be a pretty good running back. I know he could be a really good receiver, and think about the 4 positions on defense in the back end, plus the nickel back, the slot guy. So there's 5 right there, and it's just an unusual skill set, if you will. Micah Hyde, probably the closest thing maybe we had. I don't know, maybe Desmond, but maybe Micah's probably a better reach there. But and then the most amazing part is it's just he wasn't recruited, especially in this day and age where there's no secrets. So, but on top of it, he's a great young guy. He's just a great team member. So it's just quite an effort tonight from him.
How much do you think that he played smaller class football? The fact that he had to do a lot in high school.
Yeah.
It's an advantage when he comes here.
Yeah, just playing sports.
Yeah.
And I'll put a plug in for parents. Like being a multi-sport athlete, and it seems like anybody smart I talk to in football, they endorse that. The people in the NFL, you can usually go back and trace that. Like the really good ball skill guys, they played stuff other than just football. Growing up, and sometimes didn't play football until later. But yeah, I think just going out and doing stuff is so overlooked right now. Everybody's in this age of specialization and all that crazy stuff. And just let kids be kids and let them go out and play.
First,
It's a good thing for them. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mara.
Today you had Cooper, obviously, and Deontay make huge special teams plays. These are defensive starters, and I know it's nothing new for starters to make big special teams plays. But how have you made special teams something that starters want to do?
That goes back to day one, 23 plus years ago. That was one thing. It was just a building block for our program. And 2 reasons for it. Number one, figure that was the first thing maybe we could get good at because we weren't very good at anything initially. And so that was that. And part of the reason is you don't have to be as veteran of a player, I don't think, to be a good special teams player. There's not quite as much learning. There is learning, and there's obviously calls and schemes and all that, but it's not quite, the experience doesn't factor in. And if you got a good attitude and you're really a tough-minded guy, it gives you a chance. And then, so fast forward, then, the dilemma becomes as you get a little bit down the road, hopefully, thinking about guys like, Abdul Hodge, Greenway, Dallas Clark, how much do you use them on special teams? Because they're so valuable on defense too. And so now you circle back to Cooper, who's easily leading the team in snaps right now. I think probably the only time he comes off would be kickoff, return. I think that's correct. And then, the field goal teams, he's not on those, but, and he's playing every snap on defense. But, we don't have a choice right now. We're not the deepest outfit. But I think our guys just take pride in that. And the good players I've been around want to play on special teams, and then we got to pull them back. But if there's a way to get a guy who maybe is a second team but can play as effectively, we're gonna give that guy the opportunity. So, there's a little bit more, buy-in, and they're more part of the team, feel like they're more part of the team. So that's kind of been our philosophy for a couple decades here. But then, it's tough sometimes because, some guys can really make a difference, and it's gonna be tough to take him off any of these teams moving forward.
Maybe you might be able to correct me here, but I can't think of a time when you've had a defense where you can just completely rely upon, where it changes the game plan almost. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just so dominant right now. How
Oh,
does that change the way you
like
play?
that too, and we weren't where we needed to be offensively, and at least you go into a game thinking that you got a chance,
Right.
with a couple segments maybe, and then if you can just do something else. So but I don't mind telling you that was prominent in my thoughts today. Certainly just about how we approach the second half, and
Yeah.
same way last 3 weeks actually. You just want to be smart in that second half and not put those guys in a really bad position. So you can't pull it all the way back, but and then part of that too is just the feel. Like I've been around some really good defenses that have tough days, and then you got to play accordingly. But today our guys were really outside that one pass. I mean, we were on top of our game pretty good.
Kirk,
I think,
Kirk, at Ohio State, I asked you specifically if, there are times when things like this could snowball in one of two directions. And I actually just said, is it possible to go in the right direction over the final 6 games? And you said it's not only possible, I believe it is possible, and it's gonna happen, and it's up to us to make it happen. Here you are, 3 games later, your defense is dominated, you've won 3 games. What has led you guys to doing it?
I think the answer I'd give you, there was a visitor in town here, I'm pretty close with, who really knows football and knows people. And he knows our program, and he was just in the locker room there just talking about our guys and the way they are. He really likes our team. So, that's what I'd go back to, and it's been pretty consistent since January. These guys have worked hard, and we're like any team. We got the guys at the top that know how to act and know how to be leaders, and then you got guys in the middle trying to figure it out, and then you got some guys at the bottom who have no idea what's going on most of the time. But we got enough guys at the top that have been, really strong. So, you just, I couldn't, sign off on that 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, but, you bet on people, and, you bet on people that you've been around, and, see how they respond. Thinking right now about Jack Campbell, right? You guys, trying to get him to crack it. I don't mean that in a bad way, but that's a game every guy gets played. And, not only did he deflect that question, he stood up and was strong. That's who he is. That's how he is. And we got a lot of guys like that on our team.
Coach, was there chatter?
That's really helpful, Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, no, I cut you off. Was there chatter in the locker room about the Purdue game earlier and how that could impact your guys' chances of winning the West?
I don't spend a lot of time in the locker room today, I just kind of get in and out. As the game gets closer, I really try to give our players space, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I don't think anybody's thinking about a pennant race right now. I think we're all thinking about trying to get our 3rd win, and we got 2 left now. So all that stuff. If it's supposed to be, it's like last year. It didn't look good, and then all of a sudden we're in Indy. So my experience is don't worry about it. Let's just worry about Wisconsin. We had our hands full today, and we knew that going in. And we'll have our hands full again next week and the week after. So just try to keep looking at what's in front of us.
Kirk, you'll see some head coaches when their team's struggling, they'll make big changes, they'll panic in some ways. You've never been that way. Why is that?
It gets back to the people you work with. If you believe in the people you're with, and you're always trying to look for a better way. That's our job. That's what all coaches do. And we talk about it frequently as a staff. But as I said, whenever I believe we have quality people in the program. I think we have a pretty good coaching staff. Got a lot of guys that have been around the game that know what they're doing and teach it well. They're good for our players. So, and as I just said, I really believe in our players. Again, we got different levels on the team. But it's that way every team we've ever had. So as long as you got enough guys at the top that are really helping drive things, then you got a shot.
A couple offensive linemen got banged up. What's the latest with Stevens and Plum?
Yeah, I think Jack's okay. I think he is, and Stevens, we'll see. You know, he came out and couldn't go back in, so we'll see. We'll know more Tuesday, probably.
And then what about Arlen Bruce?
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm pretty sure he's going to play next week, but I'm hopeful he is. I think he had a chance this week. It just couldn't make it on as of yesterday morning. So I think it's realistic to think we'll get him back. And yeah, that's the other dilemma with Cooper. You know, because I was saying about that. It's you lose a really good corner playing their gunner when he's returning. So but it turned out to be a good trade today. So yeah, we'll see what it looks like next week.
On offense, it wasn't there in raw stats, but situationally, they did their job and came away with 17 key points. How would you assess how they've been able to improve in that area over the last few weeks?
Yeah, it was a major, because we've had, situations where we're in great position, end up with a field goal, and that's, you just keep doing that, and at some point it's gonna catch up to you, and it has caught up to us a little bit, so that was really encouraging. Start with that first one, where I think it was 2-3 plays, and boom, it just, Caleb put it in there. So, that's progress, but just the overall continuity today, cohesiveness, it wasn't there, and pressure, and, it's hard to give Spencer a good pocket to work off of, and we really never were consistent in the run game, but I'm sure it's addressable. Again, I think these guys have been improving week to week, and